Hi, I'm Jeremy. This is your Geek Fix, and I am in New York City, in Times Square, for the New York City Comic Con. And why am I here? Because we were invited by Fanhome to check out their booth, where we got to see familiar builds like RR2-D2 and an Iron Man. And I even got to see up close what the Millenium Falcon will look like when we get all done. I've been stockpiling the boxes to build it all together this upcoming weekend. But we also got an exclusive sneak peek at some other builds, like this amazingly detailed Optimus Prime, and of course, the 1966 Batmobile, with working lights that include a turn signal.
We've been lucky to get the first prototype model of the 1987 Chevrolet Monte Carlo that Jeff Benn won the 1997 Cup Series in. That's on the exhibit here today. That will be coming next year to the Diagnosing site. But the other series that we're kind of excited to exhibit here for the first time is the Starship collectible die-cast series. So this is an extension of what used to be sold in different retailers in the past. They've got 20 brand new vehicles, ships from the Star Trek series, and from some of the newer films and series that have never been sold on retail before, anywhere in the world, but certainly not in the USA. For the first time, and that's what they're exhibiting. So that's the one we're really stoked on.
Well, and I know you have a special visitor tomorrow that's Star Trek related.
We've got none other than Todd Stashwick, one of the actors from one of the latest series coming to be with us. He's going to be here for a couple hours, I think. We're going to have an amazing time, and we're so thrilled to have him coming to help us. We've got the Spider-Man, the Iron Spider from Avengers.
That's the one I'm most excited about. Is that half scale? How big is that?
That is a meter tall, I think, we're fully assembled, half scale, yes.
Is it? Yeah.
Correct, yeah. First time we did a Spider-Man product, obviously we've worked with Marvel Studios quite a lot. They've always been super supportive of our projects, of our plans, and honest, we're another good Marvel film. Yeah. We're in New York. Spider-Man is my superhero, it's the one I love the most. I'm super stoked for that one.
It was so much bigger than I could have imagined. You might remember me saying how excited I was about how big Iron Man was and how much bigger it was than my other figures and how it was too big to fit on my table. Iron Man was standing nearby. It looks tiny compared to the Iron Spider, which just tells you how big this figure is at half scale. Remember also that with the legs, this would be about 8 feet tall in real life. I loved how cool and detailed the pieces were, and the base even has this spot where there's drawers for you to put the parts into. But I needed to get going because they gave me the first 2 stages to put together here on the channel that you get to see about 2 months before it even comes out, which is really, really cool. Now, there was one thing I didn't get to see while I was at the conference in their booth, which is Darth Vader. Unfortunately, he got wounded on the way there. Probably some rebel scum did something to him, right? But at the same time, he is also half scale. So really cool. I mean, really, really exciting stuff. Not only does he light up, but he also has a voice modulator that makes sound. His lightsaber lights up like a real lightsaber, even makes the sounds like a lightsaber. Hopefully we also get to see that in person eventually. But for now, should we open these up? You got the Spider-Man face right there. Like our other Fanhome models, they come with the parts that you need for each stage. So this would be stage 1, this is stage 2, which tells me that literally we will be completing this part all together before we attach it to this part. And that's important because even though I have these parts, I don't have the manuals. They actually had them on display there, but I didn't take pictures and I didn't bring one back with me. And I tried contacting my people out there, but unfortunately I couldn't get a hold of anyone. And it's the middle of the night where they are, whereas it's the day where I am. And I decided, you know what, I can't wait. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this together. And luckily I did get some close-ups where I think I have pieces of those instructions. I was lucky enough to meet Francisco, who is the one that designs a lot of the ways in which this is put together, as well as the manuals themselves.
I am a fan of Marvel. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
and then I have to check all the magazines. Personally, I repeat every step of the instruction. I also check the quotes, the image. For me, it's to assemble each issue, each pieces is relaxed. To find my moment every week, and my 30 minutes, my hour for me, and to assemble it with relaxing. And one issue, two issues. I like a lot Marvel. I enjoy my work, and at the same time I am conflicting myself because it's work and at the same time it's my hobby, my life from the child. Later, we take the official assets and we have to check angle by angle, finger by finger, and to zoom in for 100% to find the mistakes from the movie. And sometimes we found it. For instance, previous to this Spider-Man, we made the Infinity Gauntlet. And the Infinity Gauntlet for the movie don't have a diagram in this part. Oh, but the official asset has a diagram. And the Spider-Man in this case, we found the shape of the eyes. Yeah. The toys and the 3D files are a little bit different from the movies. The angles of the eyes, the lens are different because the movie are CGI. And when you take the fantasy and to make real, you have to find solution, as on these cases, for instance.
So basically the assets they get are sometimes different than the post-production finished product that you see on the film. And I found out for this Spider-Man, for example, that they found that there was an area of the Tom Holland costume that was a little awkward in size, but because they can't just make a change by themselves, they do have to submit and request permission to make changes to those assets. So basically they had to submit to Marvel to shrink that area to make it look less awkward. So let's see how we do. One of the first things I'm noticing about this is this screwdriver right here. This is a first for me. I put together quite a few of these Fanhome models now. It's usually there's one of a few screwdrivers that they give you. For example, this is the one that I had both with Iron Man. I think they also gave me something similar in the end for one of my other models. And usually it does have a magnetic tip and things, but this one has where I can, with a magnet, is magnetic attached. I can actually put in different bit sizes and types of bits, and so that means that they can just send me bits, I guess, instead of having to deal with a whole screwdriver, which is a good idea. I bet you I happen to have a bit right here from a different set from one of my actual, oh my gosh, it does, look at that. This is from my iFixit kit. So yeah, that's pretty neat. So let's take out some of our pieces here. Got now something that I do notice is that this has magnets in it, 4 magnets. So I'm guessing that one of these pieces is going to be connecting using only magnets, which might be how it is that they seal this off. I've been wondering because I know we're going to have to screw from the inside to the outside, so I'm not sure how we connect the two parts together. Here's also all my little screws that I'm going to be using. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this mouthpiece right here, and I'm going to be taking this piece right here, and those two things stick together just like that. I'm going to be taking this piece and I'm going to put these two parts on just like this and like that. I'm going to hold those in place now as I bring this part around and snap it onto here. And so right now this is the only thing that's holding all these together. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 screws that are going to hold this on right here. Okay, and then 3 is right here. And I'm really tightening that down, and when I do, suddenly all these face pieces are all stuck on there pretty good. So yeah, I think I've got this right so far. Next I'm going to be taking this piece and I'm going to stick it right on there like that, and then I'm going to add another screw on this side. These really do have to be kind of tight because it's holding everything kind of together at the moment. Alright, And just like that, look at that. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Doing the things Spider-Man can. What's he like? It's not important. Spider-Man. I always get the Spider-Man theme and Triangle Man mixed up. But anyway, okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking these pieces right here. I'm going to stick them through just like this. One there. One here. Whoops. One there, one here. There we go. And then I'm going to take these pieces right here. Which should match up with those. One there, and one over, flip that around, over here. Right, they should match up. And then I'm going to be taking this piece right here and sticking that behind them to hold them into place. And so let's see how well that works here. Yep, just like that. And now I'm going to screw that into place. So hopefully it tightens those parts down and pushes them into the eye further. Nice and tight. I think I want these to be nice and tight, particularly because this is what's keeping the light supposedly from escaping those eyes. So next, I've got this little neck piece right here, which connects right like this, right here. So as you can see, just like that. And I'm going to connect those now right here. Because this is such a big model, I'm kind of taking my experience with Iron Man to try and make this look as tight as I can. I'll hold on to those pieces really well. Next, oh no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this where my magnets come in? Could it be? Oh, they're magnetic. That is what this is for. Ho 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 ho. Here we go, baby. So, well, clearly that's what's going on though, right? Is that we're gonna be sticking this and it'll just like go click, and then we'll get options for the eye type we want to use, which this would probably be the first of, right? Is that incorrect to think that? Or was it meant to stick through the other way? Fudge. All right, so clearly that's my mistake that I've made. I gotta go back and do that. Okay. Luckily, to get underneath there, I don't really have to do too much. But I do need to attach that like this. I do believe that it's just going to be the little tiny end that's going to be sticking through, if I had a guess. And so that little nib, that little nub, let's see if this works here. So actually, all I have to do, I figured out, is just push these through. I'm pushing the small end through first, and they will kind of stick in there. So maybe I don't have to glue them after all, but just typically, I know that's something that Fanhome will often do, is they'll be like, glue this part on, just to make sure it doesn't come out. Okay, let's see if that helps. Oh yeah, it did. Okay. And now, stick that into here, onto there, like that, while I screw on that face back on. Now with that, I've got everything all tightened on. This is what his face now looks like. We got some of those pieces, those details that we've already put together. But the question is, will the eyes work? So I stick them on, just on the outside like this. And yes, they do. So that means that there must be other shapes of the eyes that are coming. But that's the end of stage 1, and now we're on to stage 2, which has a lot of electronic parts, which I don't know what they do. And I'm lucky because I actually have some screenshots that give me some close-ups that would tell me some things that I need to know about this. Now I know that this right here is probably not for long-term use inside of this model. This is probably like our other kits where this is for testing things. In this case, I think it's the lights that go inside the eyes. So I'm gonna put that over here. I'm just gonna lay out all my parts here. Now is where I need to reference a close-up I have, a still of one stage or one step on the manual. There's these labels right here that they gave me. These go on to the different wires to keep track of them. In this particular case, I don't know that I'm going to be able to label them right. So I'm going to be labeling them probably not the way it will show in the instructions. So the first thing we're doing is actually bringing back the front of our head that we've already assembled. And the first piece I'm going to be taking is this one right here. Whoops, I'm going to take my eyes off so I don't keep knocking them off. And what we're going to be doing, as you can see right here, I have 4 holes. And I'm going to be securing that so that the LEDs are in the center. I'm going to be taking it, so see the bigger holes here that match my bigger holes here. I'm going to be lining those up. Oh, it just sits right nicely on it actually. So if you look closely, there's little tiny pegs that are sticking through some of the small holes. And then the big holes we're going to be using for screwing on those LEDs. Boy, I think I'm going to use this screwdriver for a second. Just because it has better torque. There we go. And then this one has 2 connectors on it. Works on the same way. I don't want to bend those boards, but on the flip side, I also don't want them letting light come through, I don't think. So I'm going to tighten them down just enough. At least they don't shake or rattle. There we go. All right, now I've got this little wire right here. It's gonna go right here like this. And then that comes around and plugs into the top one over here. Just like this. Again, trying to be careful so that when I stick it in, there we go. That should be right. All right, and then I'm supposed to be able to put a sticker on this, but again, I'm not sure which sticker to put on. Next, I'm going to be taking this wire right here, and I'm going to be plugging it into the bottom connector over here. So, again, trying to do it straight on, just to not bend any pins. There we go. All right, just like that for now. I have this board right here, which we're going to be using in a few minutes. I'm going to put that over here for a minute. All right, next, I'm going to be taking this piece right here. I'm going to be fitting it right underneath his neck, right here, like this. And I'm going to be screwing that in back here. The other one, again, making sure that these are as tight as I can get them. At least that's the objective I have right now. Okay. Look at that nice clean neck going on there. All right. And then I'm going to be taking this and attaching it to this right here using 2 screws. I'm not sure why the neck wasn't just molded this way, but I'm sure I will figure that out too. And then I'm now ready to take this side, this other black piece, I'm going to put it onto the back, just like this. And now I'm going to screw that down. Okay. Woo! I think I'm sweating, not just because I have on a long sleeve shirt, but it's just so exciting! Next, I'm going to be taking this piece, sticking it instead of this piece, and I'm going to stick those parts right here, just like that. And I'm going to be securing that first with a screw up here at the top, and another one down here at the bottom, just like so. And then I'm repeating that same thing over on the other side. So taking these two pieces, sticking them inside of each other, popping them onto here, just like that, and then securing it with a couple of screws. And then I got this long one, which goes right here. And this one I'm only securing with one screw at the bottom, which is surprisingly, I think, all I have left, screws-wise. I have an exact number of screws, unless I lost one somewhere along the way. I do know where those screws tend to wind up. Unfortunately, it is on the eyes. Nope, not on the eye. Now, up here at the top, you might think that there's screws that go here. That's not what that is. Actually, I'm gonna bring this piece right here. It has one side, there's this little flat piece right here, and I'm gonna be sticking that right into there. And then these two pegs will be going into those holes. So if I do it right, it should click for me right into place, securing that as the last piece. I'm gonna take my eyes now, stick them onto here, like so, and boom, we've got Spider-Man. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is so cool. Look at the details of every little bump. He said that he actually went through, they had to figure out exactly the size of those bumps, so it would be exact to the one that is in the movie. Isn't that crazy? Like the right number of bumps to match the movie. Now, at the same time, we're not done. Remember, I have this little tester section over here. I put some batteries into it right here. We put this onto here. Make sure that's pushed in, actually. There it goes. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to hook it. I'm going to turn this away for a second. I'm going to hook it into here, just like this. Like that. And now when I bring him around, you can see, now the only thing is I have lights all turned on here. Let me turn off all my lights. That looks pretty cool, right? Now, there's a switch here. That isn't to turn it off. It's because there's two modes for Spider-Man. And let's put him into the other one. Ha ha ha! Well, that's cool. That is totally and completely awesome. So, yeah, there he is. Spider-Man, 1/2 scale, which you can still see that those eyes are lit up. He has a base and things that is also lit up and can be controlled using a remote control. But any rate, what do you think of this? Is that cool or what? I really like the details. I love the fact that we know that these can be replaced, which means there is more options probably for them to be slightly closed and open and things. And as he said, I mean, these are made to look exactly like the one in the movie, even though it wasn't the same as their original assets that they were given by Marvel themselves. But how cool is that? 1/2 scale. Just a little comparison. This is how big this head is to my Iron Man, which was already giant compared to my other figures. Like here it is compared to a 1/4 scale figure that I have. We'd like to thank Fanhome for taking us on this trip of discovery and bringing us out to Comic Con, as well as being able to build, to have this exclusive ability to be able to build the first 2 stages of this long before it's going to be released. So be on the watch for it. If you want or are interested in this, be sure to check out. They do have kind of a let me know page that you can click that will kind of keep you up to date. Like, subscribe, comment below, and as always, this is your Geek Fix.